Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's going on? Welcome to another Ultra Sud podcast, and I'm joined today by arguably, and I say it every week, but this one he is the best baller here at Ultra Sud. He is someone that's got a big move waiting as well, which we're going to touch on too, and obviously the World Cup semi-finals have just passed, so football fever is in the air, World Cup fever is in the air, and we've got Jimmy Paneras. Jimmy, welcome to the pod, mate.
Thank you, Costa. I'm very excited to be here and share my knowledge on the World Cup.
I tell you what, there was a bit of... This one's been a long graft trying to get Jimmy on. It's been. I go, Jimmy, do you want to come on? He goes, I'm busy. I'm playing against Barcelona this week. I'm playing against Western Sydney Wanderers this week. But Jimmy, it's good to finally have you on. You've got the special one as well, because we've called you just before Jimmy's about to leave, which we'll touch on, the big announcement. But we've called Jimmy as well. We've got the World Cup semi-final on the screen. France-Morocco just finished now. We've kicked everyone off the pitch, and we've started filming as soon as they've got off. Before we do touch on the games, though, I'll find out a little bit about you. I've pumped you up now as a baller, Jimmy. I want to find out a bit about you. Obviously from Sydney.
Yes.
And they're young as well. How old are you? 21?
I'm 20.
20?
21 next year.
You're 20?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we've got the GQ model walking past as well.
Yep.
Because we'll get into your move, which is pretty cool. How did you get, I guess, here, and then who you play for here? And you're catching my drift, so just talk. Wild.
So, for the last 5 years, I've played at Melbourne Victory, worked my way up from the under-18s to the 20s to the 23s. Spent a little bit of time training with the first team. Unfortunately, didn't receive a scholarship, so... but yeah, so had a good 5 years at Melbourne Victory. Decided I wanted a bit of a change, so... Yeah, that's that. Now I'm moving on.
So you have gone... You went on trial period. We lost you here for a couple of weeks, or a month or so, whatever. Yeah, no, that's all right, mate. We lost you here for a little bit. Where were you in that period?
Yeah, so for a few weeks I went down to Greece, or went up to Greece, and I had a trial with AEK Athens. Did quite well, and I've now signed with AEK Athens.
Signed the team?
Yeah.
Signed the contract. So,
yeah.
Jimmy, making a big move to AEK Athens. Obviously, you've got a Greek background as well,
yes.
like me, which is why I'm a little bit biased, and I'm glad he's gone. What was that whole period like? Because you've gone to one of the biggest Greek clubs in the world. Obviously, you're not there yet, and you haven't really, I guess, fully experienced what it will be like. But obviously, you're going from, I guess, Victory sort of NPL system and all that sort of thing, to now then going into the Greek league, going to a massive club. AEK have got a bunch of new money to new stadium. How exciting is that for you?
Yeah, very exciting. I think one of the main differences I found between Greek boys and the Aussie boys in the league that I was playing in here was just the physicality and the way they train. It's very intense. It's very physical. You know, they go in, and it's all jokes aside. They go in very hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's life or death for them. So
it's good. That's what you want. It's good. It's exciting times as well. You're leaving a couple of weeks, huh?
Yeah, next Friday I leave.
Next Friday,
yeah.
Wow. So I will give you his aeroplane flight number. You can go watch Jimmy Paneras fly across the sky as well. No, but that's exciting stuff. Who are you covering now? That someone did you meet any of the boys when you were there, or?
In the first team they got big name players like Vida from Croatia, Sadibe who's played in a World Cup final, Amrabat who didn't quite make the Moroccan side that's done really well this World Cup because of a knee injury, but they have a few big players, so very excited.
That's exciting times, and obviously going to Greece. Well, what are you most, I guess, looking forward to, just even about the lifestyle?
I think the lifestyle, when I first went there, it was quite a culture shock. I think the lifestyle, it's very different to Australia in the way that in Australia we're very, we rely on work, whereas in Greece they're very relaxed.
Yeah.
They like to live their life.
Yeah.
So.
Which is also why they have some issues, but.
Yeah, true.
No, but you've gone, I can't wait. I'm actually just G'd up thinking about it. It's going to be so cool going to Greece. And then, Jimmy, when I come to Greece, mate, I expect row 1, level 1.
You're always welcome.
Big Jimmy Paneras sign. Ultra Sud podcast. That's exciting stuff, mate, and congratulations too. And it's good to see. I guess we're hearing a couple more stories from the boys coming from the, I guess, the NPL system and all that sort of thing, and just shows don't be scared to go elsewhere. I'm not. There's a reason why I talk in front of the camera and I don't play, but it shows go out on a trial, have a shot, try something, and now go to Greece. You're still young. Are you going on your own or?
To start with, my dad's going to come, and then from there I'll be on my own. he'll stay for a few weeks. And
Are
then
there
I'll
any
be
other Aussie boys there?
When I was there was, I wouldn't say a lot of Aussie players, but there was a lot of Aussies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, having a Greek background as well.
Yeah.
They'll soak you up like
Yeah.
anything, huh?
Yeah.
Good, Jimmy. I love it. So again, keep tabs on Jimmy, future baller, if not a current baller. And I'm claiming him as well, so no one take him because Jimmy's mine. But we are going to get an AEK Athens kit. I've already put in my request when Jess goes. She's bringing back an AEK kit. Paneris on the back, number 14. Is that your number?
Victory it was.
Victory was 14, wasn't
14,
it?
yeah.
See, I told you, I'm a fan. But Jimmy, something that's a little bit bigger than that. It's the World Cup final coming up next week, which you'll be here for. It's on Monday, isn't it?
Monday.
It's on Monday. We watched the Croatia-Argentina game here together yesterday morning. Croatia, I honestly kind of thought they were maybe going to take it to extra time. Before the game happened, I thought they were going to take it to extra time, try to push Argentina, and I kind of thought that would have been the upset of the two games. Mm-hmm. Argentina came out, Messi said, "Hey Costa, hold my beer," and he just tore it up. What were your thoughts on that Argentina game?
Yeah, before the game, I thought it would be a lot closer than the result ended up being, but I do think with that first penalty, it kind of changed the game straight away. So, in my opinion, I don't know what else the keeper could do.
Yeah.
So,
And then we spoke about it here, and the others that were here too. If the keeper's going to, well, what the keeper's done, he's gone towards the ball.
yeah,
Obviously, his legs stuck out a little bit, like naturally. Alvarez has gone through him. Alvarez goes down. It's a penalty. If the goalkeeper moves aside, then he gets absolutely rinsed because it's like, well, what are you doing?
It's a bit harsh, but at the end of the day, there was a bit of contact there, so I guess the ref has to make that decision, and he called it a penalty.
And then Messi, I'm going to throw you the big hard-hitting question. Has Messi surpassed this GOAT call now?
Yes,
Or does
no
he
debate.
have to win it?
Messi is the GOAT.
Messi's the GOAT.
No debate. Never was.
You're not a biased Messi fanboy?
No. Messi is the GOAT.
End of. That third goal that they scored, where he just dribbled through 3 or 4 players, plays a square across to Alvarez. This World Cup, I mean, from the start, it was like Messi's World Cup. Even though it was probably Ronaldo's last World Cup too, everyone knew it's like, oh, it's Messi's World Cup. This is Messi's World Cup. France have just won. They've gone through. I'm confident 95% of every football fan will want Argentina to win that final.
Yeah, I agree. I'm rooting for Argentina. It's Messi's last World Cup, so I'd really want him to win that World Cup.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, you've got to give credit to the other boys in Argentina as well. Like defensively, I didn't think they were that strong. People like Otamendi have stood up, Kuna have stood up. Their midfield's very tasty as well. If you hear a bit of background noise, that's fine because I know people can't see a camera and a microphone, but that's all right. Enzo Fernandez apparently going to Liverpool. You're Arsenal, aren't you?
I'm Arsenal.
Enzo Fernandez going to Liverpool. Apparently, that's what they all keep on saying.
Rumoured, yeah.
Can Argentina win it? And are Argentina heading into the final as favourites?
I think so, yes. I think their performances have backed that they are the favourites.
Yeah.
I think even with France, as we saw this morning with Morocco, there was a long period of time where France were actually playing on the counter-attack and Morocco were giving it to them.
Yeah.
So,
that's the thing. I don't think Argentina have been that strong. Maybe Billy Wingrove. Billy Wingrove, welcome to the pod. 2 weeks running.
It's Charlie Austin. I'm going home.
Charlie, why have you gone home?
It gets to the stage in life where you have kids, and I had to leave my beautiful... No, I won't go there. It's family. We can't go there.
Charlie Austin makes the big move away. Hey,
Grease, you look out. This man's coming for you. I don't know what accent I'm putting on, but you are scared.
Billy Wingrove. Hey, if he does more than 10, does he get a contract at AEK as well? Oh.
Very nice.
You always kick it forward after. Don't kick it forward. Jess, do you want to say something as well?
Having a fucking month.
Come on, Jess.
For 2 seconds. Grand final day, this man here. Score prediction?
2-1, 1-0 FC.
Let's go!
You just deep throated them thing. I've seen. Oh no, I'm not gonna say that. Whoops.
Oh, you're gonna say graveyard again.
Oh.
Hey, you got the flick from last week's podcast. I thought we were going to get cancelled after last week, but no. I think we're all wearing Adidas. Oh no, he's wearing Nike.
Nah, I'm a Nike man.
See ya, Jess. Thanks for popping in.
See ya.
Argentina. I'm actually going to give you a little semi-controversial call.
Yeah, go
And then I want you to say what you told me about the two teams in the final before the camera started. I don't think Argentina have been that strong all tournament. I think they've been good, don't get me wrong. Like, they're obviously there for a reason. But if they do win it, do you reckon people can confidently say that Argentina were by far the best team? Or is it more of a case of it was an even competition? Or which is why there was no team that was like standing up, standing down?
I think in this World Cup there wasn't actually a team that I could say looked like they were going to win it.
Oh,
Like, there were stages where, in games where Argentina were playing, where I thought, they're not that special, especially against Australia. I thought we gave them a really good run.
Yeah.
But I think Messi's played a massive part in them getting to the final.
Yeah, 100%. It's felt like Messi has really sort of taken them on their back.
Yeah.
And it's gone, I'm not losing. Which is why, like, Messi now getting in, it's like, you cannot see Messi getting to the final now and then losing.
Yeah.
If he does that,
I agree.
I'll be extremely, extremely shocked. The other side is France-Morocco. France-Morocco this morning. And Morocco, I tell you, like you mentioned before, they held them quite well. They did hold them quite well. But before we touch on that, who are the only two teams that beat Australia this tournament?
France and Argentina.
Which means Australia is the what in the country, in the world?
We are the third best country.
Unbelievable. Australia's
world.
the third best country. So the two grand finalists in the World Cup final,
The only two teams that beat us.
the only two teams that beat us. So technically, don't ask for the maths behind it. Australia is the third best country in the world. Which is good. It shows that Australia, we can handle the big dogs.
We're up there.
We're up there. We're up there. 2020, 2026?
2026.
2026, see you there. I might be going to that as well.
Hopefully I'm
I'll see you
playing.
there. I'll see you there when you're playing for Greece.
Yeah. Well,
Can you play for Greece?
I can play for Greece and I can play for Australia.
Oh, Theophanis Gekas. Love it. Love it. France versus Morocco, obviously, this morning. Morocco, disappointing. They were everyone's, I guess, team that people wanted to win. You want the underdog. People love an underdog.
Yeah, I think going into the game, I thought Morocco were going to sit back and play on the counter. But watching the game this morning, it was actually the other way around, where
Yeah.
France were actually soaking up all the pressure and Morocco were peppering their goal. And unfortunately, France were quite disciplined and got them on the counter.
Hopefully, this is a thing for Morocco where it's not just a one-off tournament, where they can, even in their own sort of continental competitions, they can become a bit more of a powerhouse. And because you want the teams like this to do well. At the same time, I do like how it's a France-Argentina final, because at the same time, in the final, I really didn't want Croatia to win. Because you want, I feel like in the final, you want the superstars. In the semi-finals, the quarter-finals, you want a couple of the upsets, you want a couple of the underdogs, because you want to see something different. If you're watching the same thing every year, it's a bit boring. But Morocco today, unfortunately, 2-0 loss. Jesus Christ, sorry. 2-0 loss for Morocco. France had a couple of doubters coming in. I actually said France weren't going to get out of the group.
I did too.
Okay, good. So I'm not the only idiot here, huh? I actually said France weren't going to get out of the group because obviously there's that World Cup curse. So France are going to be the first team in 60 years, if they do win it, to go back-to-back World Cups, which is crazy. Like, and they've got so many injuries as well, which everyone obviously said.
Yeah.
No Benzema. Like, at the time, he's probably the best player in the world. Like, coming off the Ballon d'Or. You pull someone like that, you pull a Ballon d'Or winner from any other country in the world, you go, okay, now they're done, they're finished.
Yeah, no Benzema, no Nkunku, no Pogba.
France have no Kante.
No
France have
Kante.
gone straight to the World Cup final without those players.
I didn't see that happening.
Which is, and I didn't think they'd make the final either. I thought that England might, and I don't think England are that good either. But I thought England might have been that one where maybe England can catch a little bit of an upset. France, where does France rank? I guess for you, because I know when I think of like the best footballing nations, I remember the Spain, the Germanys from I guess back in the day when we were younger. Will France have that same sort of impact as well? When you think of that Spain team of like a Xavi, Iniesta, David Villa, Fernando Torres, will France have that same sort of feeling, you reckon, for a lot?
I don't think so. I think they have a lot of talent, but I think the teams like that 2010 Spain team just have a lot more. I guess they were more of a family. Whereas the French, they look like they're individual players.
Yeah. I think it might be that thing. I think France, they're all it was almost a team full of superstars.
Yeah.
Whereas so was Spain, and I guess so was Germany. But I do agree, it felt more
Germany as well, yeah.
it felt more like a club sort of thing,
Yeah.
rather than a national team. Where in the sense of like, they are together, they all are as one. And France are too. Like, I feel like France sometimes cop a little bit of unfair criticism, but at the same time, there is something that just a lot of people don't seem to like a bit of France. I don't want France to win.
I'm going for Argentina.
Yeah, I don't, and I don't even really care in the sense of like Messi needs the Ballon d'Or to pass the GOAT debate, whatever. I want Messi to win it because I sit on the fence with that debate as well because I'm a nerd and I'm a geek and I can't be bothered. But if Messi does win it, I want him to beat France, which is cool because if Messi imagine Argentina beat Morocco in the final. With all due respect to all the Moroccans out there, the macaroons, the Moroccan, macaroons, are the macaroons are the things. You look at it and then everyone goes, oh, well, he beat Morocco in the final.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're beating, in a way, it's perfect for his documentary as well. You're beating the reigning World Cup champions, the big dogs of European football, Kylian Mbappe, who's, I guess, the passing of the torch moment as well for once Messi goes. Mbappe, you'd think, would be the top dog in world football for many, many years to come. Messi goes off, shows him his boss still, wins the World Cup. Vamos, Argentina.
That's right. Hopefully that's what happens.
Hopefully. Now, I want to throw you a tricky little question. We're going to have a bit of a shorter one today because we are quite busy here at Ultra Sud. You can come down, watch the final as well. I think it's a 2 a.m. game, which is an absolute killer.
Dead time.
But we've got to do a little bit of a shorter one. I'm going to just throw you some easy little questions. I just want to give you your favourite player that you've watched this tournament. So not the best one, might not be the most exciting one, but your favourite player that you've watched this tournament. Someone that you'll go, you know what, hey Jimmy, remember that, when you're in Greece having a nice souvlaki at the end of the season, go, Jimmy, remember that 2022 Qatar World Cup? You go, yeah, and you go, yeah, you know who I loved watching?
Well, that's actually a hard question. I think if we're talking young players, I think Enzo Fernandez from Argentina. He's really put his name out there.
Good player.
Vardiol from Croatia, the centre back, except for that moment where Messi
turned him inside
absolutely turned him inside out. Young players, those two. More established players, I think, of course, Messi's proven himself. And who else can I say?
There's some. I'm thinking, you know what? I don't even got to go look in our own backyard. I'm thinking of players that I'm just going to remember, or even maybe like moments that I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember like a Craig Goodwin moment.
Yep.
A Mitch Duke moment. And I know maybe a bit biased because obviously Australia, we're here for those moments. But like, you turn around, someone turns around, 2022 World Cup, what are you feeling? I'm going bang, Mitch Duke scores the goal, does the celebration. That's perfect. And I'm a bit of a Duke hater as well. I don't think he's that good.
Yeah, I would have thought McLaren would have started, and I think he deserved to start.
Yeah, I think
Duke,
McLaren should have got some more minutes. And I'm a Victory fan, whatever. Actually, we're going to touch on that at the end, so give me 2 seconds while I think of the question for that. But before we do get on to something bigger, I want your final World Cup prediction. Argentina versus France. We said the favourites probably heading in, you'd think Argentina? But at the same time, France. Who is going to win the FIFA 2022 World Cup? Qatar.
I'm going to say Argentina 2-1 in extra time.
In extra time? I hope it goes to extra time. I don't want it to go to penalties, because penalties, it's anyone's game. Doesn't matter.
Right.
It's not a fair, unless Australia win,
it's
not a fair representation of who should go through. The one I do want is extra time. I had 1-1. France score late. The dream is done for Messi. Second extra time comes out. Second half. Wow. Messi does his little twinkle toes feet, Jimmy Paneras type run, bang, top bins. Thanks for coming. Unbelievable. Now, before we wrap it up, obviously the big elephant in the room, and we do cover a lot of A-League stuff, and you might have seen and we mentioned Victory as well. And you might have seen on the Ultra Football Instagram socials and pretty much everywhere. I just want we'll make it 3-4 minutes before we get kicked off. They've made the decision to make the final, the A-League men's, A-League women's final, and I think the esports final, like the A-League men's and the A-League women's final, in Sydney for the next 3 years. I was at the Melbourne Victory Sydney FC Grand Final. Yep. I think 13, 14. Unbelievable. Obviously I'm a Victory fan, so it was cool. It was a sellout, seeing stand by me was the best. Sydney had a lot of fans as well on that south end sort of thing. They filled up their whole end. You're getting players come out, and I think I mentioned Craig Goodwin before. He was in all the promo video as well. Craig Goodwin comes out and he goes, I just want to make it publicly clear, I don't support the decision. They've used my face as a promo, but I don't think it's good. McLaren, did you see that? I saw on Twitter there was one of the boys DM Jamie McLaren, and he goes, did you guys know about it? He goes, no, we're fuming about it. We're super flat. It really is, and not to sound, I know it can sound so sometimes dramatic, but it is that thing of turning their back on the fans. Because only here in Australia can we have so much momentum after the World Cup.
Yep.
Australian football is, you're like, oh, okay, sweet, this could be that turning point. And then just like that, flip it on its head and it's stuffed.
Yeah, I think it's a very poor decision from the APL. It just ruins the game. I mean, football is for the fans, and for example, for it to be a Brisbane versus Melbourne Victory grand final, and it's in South Wales.
That's the thing. And because you take into other sort of things, there's obviously flights for accommodation.
Yep.
There's flights and accommodation. There's money for the ticket, and grand final tickets are always a little bit pricier than just a normal home and away ticket. If Melbourne Victory make the grand final this year, I don't know if I'd go. If it was here, I'd definitely go.
Well, I don't think anyone's going.
But
I think all the active support have stood up and said they're not going.
And there's a Melbourne derby this weekend, Jimmy. You know that I go to every game.
Yep.
I vlog the games as well. I'm not vlogging any more games for the rest of the season.
Yep.
And nothing really entices me to go this weekend as well.
Yeah.
Because there's no hype up. Because how are you meant to pump up and advertise a Melbourne derby when there's all this drama going on?
Yep.
Yeah, you can move that stuff off. All good. And then there's also how are you meant to pump up the Melbourne derby when there's all this going on, and then expect people to go, and then 20th minute, all the active fan base.
It's really going to ruin
If
the
there's one
atmosphere.
thing, it shows that the fans have come together, because you've got the City fans saying,
Yeah.
well, we'll do the same thing. Wanderers fans say, we'll do the same thing. Brisbane came out and said stuff. Hopefully they do overturn it. It is a fact of, and I think Del Petro came out and said that in the next meeting that he went against it.
Well, he actually stepped down from the
Yeah,
APL.
yeah, which I guess saves it a little bit from a Victory fans perspective, but we need more than just one.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I think, and that's the disappointing thing. It's and like and you probably know, I've probably chewed your ear off about it a lot, and Kotzi and a lot of the people here. You want the game to do well here. You've been a part of it more than I guess a bunch of us here as well. And seeing now the other side when you're going over to Europe, we had so much momentum after this World Cup, and it's just been falling flat on its ass straight away.
Yeah, I thought the World Cup was going to create more positive impact on the A-League. But, after that decision by the APL, I think the A-League and the Women's League is not in a great space at the moment.
And it's important we don't ignore the Women's League as well. Maya Markovsky, I filmed with the other week, she made a post yesterday. And she's one as well, I guess similar to you, grew up a Victory fan, she's playing for Victory.
Yep.
You want your first experience as well to be for who deserves it. Because now there's the finals. We play finals for what?
Yeah, that's
Melbourne
right.
Victory finished first on the ladder. Sydney FC finished sixth. Sydney FC have just scraped finals. Somehow they meet each other in the grand final. It gets played in Sydney. Tell me in what world that's fair.
It's not. It's really not.
And that's the thing with it. So, Jimmy, before we leave, we'll have a bit of a shorter one. Good luck in Greece. Next Friday you're leaving. We've done it. We're filming this on a Thursday, so we've made special exceptions as well for the ballers, which is why when Kotzi wants to come on, I go, no. You know that's special? That's a joke. Kotzi comes flack every single week on this pod. Joke, Kotzi, we love you. Did you see his message in the Ultra group chat last night?
I did.
I almost cried when I saw it. It was very nice of Kotzi.
Top bloke.
Jimmy, good luck. We'll keep tabs on you. We might make a Jimmy Paneras watch when the season starts.
Thank you, Costa. I appreciate you having me on the show.
It was very good. Thanks, Jimmy. We'll catch
you
you.
so much.
Enjoy Greece. We'll catch you soon. I'm getting emotional. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.